In this video, we're going to talk about what this artist and this artist have in common. And spoiler alert, they're actually the same person, but also they're a whole bunch of different people. And the reason is these are actually just part of a larger organization that essentially has created a bunch of fake artists on Spotify and a bunch of playlists associated with that music and turned it into this kind of label streaming empire sort of thing that's had billions of streams. And if I share my screen here, we can go over it. So we have Dance Fruits Music, Steve Void, Lo-Fi Fruits, Chill Fruits, and I think there's another one that's called like Sleep Fruits that's just like nature sounds and stuff like that. And we can go to the YouTube channel in 1.5 million subscribers. So this is a pretty big thing, right? And a lot of this music that you see released here, it's done by Dance Fruits Music, but if we were to look at the credits, it's done by a selection of different artists. And if we look at a different song, and a lot of these are covers, by the way, like EDM covers of popular songs, there's a different selection of artists. Oh, this one is Steve Void. But this isn't the only type of thing that does this. In fact, there's a very similar kind of thing called Stream Beats, which is done by a YouTuber named Harris Heller. And he did this in a way that all the music is royalty-free, so you can use it, or at least royalty-free in a specific application where you can stream it on Twitch or YouTube or use it in videos. And the way that Stream Beats works and the ways that the full Strange Fruits enterprise works is they either make the music themselves, but in the case of most of it, they're hiring other musicians and they're buying the rights to the music. And the way that works is they find artists that make great music and they either give them some kind of direction, like we want a very bass music rendition of Seven Nation Army. They make the instrumental, they find an awesome feature vocalist. They don't, I mean, maybe in some cases they do royalty splits, but it sounds like, from what I've seen, that they're essentially just giving them a lump sum of cash so that they own the rights to monetize the music and exploit it extensively, aside from whatever they're legally required to pay in other royalties. And then they own the music. They can release it under their brand in one of their various categories. And they have this giant network of playlists that are pretty big, like 5.4 million playlist followers. And as far as you can tell here, Dance Fruits Music, Dance Fruits Music, Steve Void, Dance Fruits Music, Dance Fruits Music, Steve Void, and you know, there's some other music mixed in here. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're involved in some way in some of it. And so how does this work, right? Well, recently there was a really cool article published in Music Business Worldwide. And they talk about, they interviewed this guy, Steve Void, or I think his real name's something different, but he releases music. I guess his real name is Stef Van Voot, probably saying that wrong. But they have millions of followers on Spotify, they have billions of streams, and they describe a lot of how this works. So they buy out the rights to all the tunes from artists that work with the company, and it just pays out the rights that they're legally required to after they buy it. So they own the music. And so that means they get all the money from the music aside from what they're legally obligated to do. Now, the thing that a lot of artists and people don't like is that these artists are fake, right? And Spotify got into hot water a few years ago when they were putting music on their editorial playlists that they created. Like, they would contract music out and they would put it on their playlists. And the reason why they did that is because then Spotify doesn't have to pay out like usually Spotify pays out 70% of all the money they generate to artists. But if they are also an artist, they don't have to pay the artist for that song because they are the artist. It's just through a fake artist. And these kind of brands are very similar in a way. And the reason why that's a problem is the way that Spotify pays out artists is based on this thing called stream pool. So if one artist comes in and starts essentially capitalizing on 10%, let's just say 10% to make the math easy, 10% of all the streams globally, they're going to get 10% of all the money globally, which means that other people are now getting paid less. So if one artist comes in and just bloating up all these streams, they are actively taking away music from quote-unquote real artists. Now, that's the controversy. I don't know if I agree with that thought, but it's a valid point that it's artistically, there's a difference between a fake artist and a real artist, but they're not doing anything wrong here, and that's the thing. There's another example in here where they talk about their rain fruit sounds thing, where it's just like 2,000 tracks of rain noises. most of which, or a lot of which, are around 30 seconds long. Because 30 seconds long is when you get paid for a stream on Spotify. So they just pumped out 2,000 tracks of like nature sounds and rain sounds for people who are sleeping. And so if they play this whole album or playlist with all these 30-second songs, they're getting paid every stream. And that takes away, because of the whole stream pool, stream share thing, that way that Spotify pays out, they're actually taking away. And this interviewer has asked Strange Fruits about this, and honestly, like, I think his answers are really good. I'll link this article below so you can check it out. But he talks about how, like, yeah, it's a problem. It's not, we didn't make the rule, we're just exploiting it. If Spotify changes it, we'll be happy. But even though it hurts our business, we'd be happy that they're correcting this stupid rule. But since it's the stupid rule, we'd be dumb to not take advantage of it if they're in the position to take advantage of it, which honestly I don't think any of us could really expect anything different, right? If you owned a company and you had this big brand, you could just upload 2,000 songs worth of 30 seconds of nature sounds and make a whole bunch of cash, like, would you do it? Most of you, probably yes. Honestly, myself, probably yes. So I can't really blame them for doing that. And there's a few other things that they talk about that are similar to that, where, you know, they feel like if people don't like it, then Spotify should change the rules. And one thing that I would like to see from Spotify is if they incentivize longer listens. So maybe if there was like a stream that like some amount of money gets paid at the 30-second mark, another amount of money gets paid at like the 50% and 100% stream mark. So that way it's like longer songs are actually more valuable in a way. I don't know if there's a way for them to easily do that, but that would solve this particular issue. Now, the crazy thing is we don't know anything about how they market these brands, but they spend 8-figure sums annually in marketing, tens of millions of dollars on marketing. And they're a small team. Like this company was started by a 25-year-old guy, and now they're spending tens of millions of dollars a year into marketing to continue to grow their brand. So if they're spending tens of millions of dollars a year, how much money are they bringing in a year, right? I would suspect maybe $100 million, you know, honestly. I mean, unless they're bringing in like 50 million and they're spending 20 million or something, but somewhere between tens of millions and $100 million would be my guess. And that's insane considering it's just a 25-year-old guy with a small team around him, buying out the rights to music and uploading it under this brand that he's created. And here's another example. This interviewer is saying Bohemian Rhapsody is over 5 minutes long. Playing that track would trigger one payment, and the same time you could squeeze in several 30-second Fruits Music rain tracks that would all trigger payment. Now that just doesn't seem right to me. And his answer is, it doesn't seem right to me either. That's why we've highlighted. We've taken a risk into investing all this stuff. Hey, this is what's wrong. Nobody's ever done this to scale this. And they're talking about how it's really is an easy fix. They could go to a user-centric payment model, and they admit in here that that would harm their business, but honestly, like, they don't care. And I think that's a great point. Like, it's not on any particular artist who's taking advantage of the rules to change it. It's kind of like blaming a billionaire in finding tax loopholes. It's legal. It's in the law. Like, if every time I do my taxes with my tax guy's goal is to try to figure out ways that I can pay the least amount of taxes possible, right, legally. And it's the same thing with this. Like, if the government wanted to change the rules so that, you know, billionaires couldn't take advantage of loopholes, pay more taxes, then that's on them. And same with Spotify. If people shouldn't take these things out on the brands brands or artists that exploit the rules, it really should be up to the platform, Spotify, to fix it. Because if there's a loophole, people will exploit it. And I know I've been talking a lot about Strange Fruits, but this Streambeats operation is actually quite involved too. At least, so in Strange Fruits, the main guy behind it is actually a producer and musician. Harris Heller is a YouTuber who I believe is a gamer. I've watched some of his videos on like being a YouTuber. I've never seen his like gaming content, but I believe he does some streaming and stuff like that. But he's not a musician, and he has a ton of streams and followers on Spotify because of this business he's created. And it might seem like, okay, 120,000 monthly listeners, this is a way smaller operation than Strange Fruits, and you're probably right. When you look at Streambeats' lo-fi playlist, 187,000 likes. You look at Synthwave, 81,000 likes. EDM, 75,000 likes. So this isn't like peanuts either. And if we open up this playlist, like this is just the EDM one. There's 223 songs. And if we were to look at the discography, and it's this very similar thing with Strange Fruits, except, you know, it is even bigger. But this is not nothing. 2022, we have this 30-song album. 2021, 15 songs. Now let's kind of scroll for a bit. All these albums are 2021, right? There's like hundreds of songs, or at least 100. I don't know how much, but it seems like it's a couple hundred per year, right? This is still 2021, and it's so much that Spotify just freaked out. So, you know, and I would be willing to bet that there's other people like this. And so if you know other artists or brands like this, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to look into them and see if I can learn anything about what they're doing, or if we can learn anything about what they're doing. And if you want to see more music marketing newsy type content, check out this playlist right here. And if you're looking for how to market your music, check out this playlist right here. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye.